at 10 starts now.
The worst is yes ahead for us. It is how we respond to that challenge that's going to determine what the ultimate endpoint is going to be.
New tonight at 10, a clinical trial evaluating a vaccine designed to fight against the coronavirus will start tomorrow. This would be the first test of any vaccine in the U.S. that would protect against the virus. Health officials say it will take a year to 18 months to fully validate a potential vaccine. Meanwhile, 4 more Hoosiers have contracted the coronavirus, bringing the total to 19 people. Hamilton County is reporting its first case, as the rest of the new cases are coming from Marion County. The CDC is releasing new guidelines to slow down the spread of the coronavirus. Officials are now recommending that gatherings of more than 50 people over the next 8 weeks be canceled. That guidance comes as the virus is putting a halt to many American lives. The nation's top infectious disease official said he would like to see a 14-day national shutdown imposed. Officials close to the president say it doesn't appear that he would order that. So far, the coronavirus has infected more than 3,000 people in the U.S. and killed more than 60. President Trump is pushing for states to do more testing, but more testing would require test kits. Vice President Mike Pence says there will be more than 2,000 high-speed testing labs opening up tomorrow. Indiana health officials have just tested 121 people as of 10 o'clock this morning. New tonight, 10 White River Township firefighters are being quarantined after they were potentially exposed to a patient with coronavirus while on a run yesterday afternoon. News 8 Sierra Hignite has why the firefighters are taking such serious precautions while waiting on results. Sierra?
Well, Nina, firefighters in White River Township were called out for a 60-year-old man experiencing symptoms of a heart attack. Now, it wasn't until they were partially through treatment that they learned the patient had also recently been experiencing flu-like symptoms as well. Now, they've turned an old fire station into a quarantine facility until they know for sure whether or not they were actually exposed to the coronavirus.
Staff and family members spent the day cleaning up and setting up an old White River fire station that currently is used to hold maintenance equipment. Now, potentially for the next 14 days, it will be serving as a place for firefighters who are possibly exposed to a patient with coronavirus to self-quarantine.
We don't necessarily know that it's 14 days yet because we're working on getting these results.
While they wait for those answers, Chief Jeremy Pell says he wants to take the proper precautions to protect the community and the firefighters' families.
This is nothing for the community to be alarmed about. In fact, I would say the exact opposite. We have procedures in place. Our crews provided excellent patient care. They took the proper precautions. They got the administration involved, and we're keeping them safe and healthy.
Based on the initial 911 call, the 10 firefighters who arrived on the scene did not believe the patient was showing any symptoms of the virus.
We got more information as we gathered patient history, which is typical for an EMS call.
Now, 8 firefighters are expected to self-quarantine in the firehouse, while the other 2 are able to self-quarantine at home without risking exposure to others.
It was merely the lack of information that caused us to say, let's do this. So then there's no question.
In the meantime, the chief says they have a plan to figure out staffing until they get more answers.
We're in the business of serving people, and we're in the business of taking care of people, and start to finish. We're going to take care of them. We're going to do it with an eye on making sure their families are safe.
The chief wants to assure the community that they have this situation under control.
But we will still respond the way we do. We will still put on protective equipment, and we will still serve the community.
The department is pushing to get those test results back so they know whether or not the crew needs to stay quarantined for the full 14 days. Now, the man who the crew was responding to did die on the scene after receiving CPR. Reporting, I'm Sierra Hignite, Wish TV, News 8.
Sierra, thank you. New tonight, an employee at the Indiana State Police Lab in Indianapolis has tested positive for coronavirus. The employee works in the ISP Laboratory Division. ISP tells us the employee was taken to the hospital for a medical issue today. That led them to be tested for the coronavirus. Another employee who worked closely with them is now in self-quarantine. ISP says it is working closely with health officials. Starting tomorrow morning, all Indiana casinos will be closing. It's an effort by the Gaming Commission to help in preventing the spread of the coronavirus. The Indiana Gaming Commission made the announcement yesterday. It says all licensed gaming and racing operations will close for at least 2 weeks. Many other states have already closed their casinos. Gaming officials say they will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates when needed. Also new tonight, Indiana University is moving to virtual learning for the rest of the semester. Students who are in clinical or field work will get further instruction for their programs. School officials also say it will be closing most of the student housing on March 20th. That's Friday. IU has already extended its spring break by a week. IU says it will assess in the coming weeks about the future of its commencement ceremonies. And happening tomorrow, Indianapolis Public Schools say it will be passing out meals to students. 7 IPS schools will distribute breakfast and lunch from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. IPS intends on passing out meals Monday through Friday up until April 3rd. After that, they will reevaluate the current situation. We have a full list of the locations where meals will be passed out on WishTV.com.